Are you planning on moving to Costa Rica and buying land in Costa Rica? Then I'm super happy that you found my video. Hi, my name is Muriel. I live on my own property here in Costa Rica. Actually, this is my road. This road leads to my home like in 2 minutes. There's my gate. And what I want to highlight in this video is some pointers for you if you are in search for the right land in Costa Rica, or a property or a piece of real estate, give it a name. But since I bought myself, there are a lot of pros and cons of buying, and especially what are you buying. If you have no clue about what you get yourself into, you want to watch this video, because if you say out loud to people, if you're in Costa Rica, that you are looking for land in Costa Rica, you're not gonna have so many friends, so-called friends, who all know land for sale. First of all, I'm gonna tell you what to pay attention to, who to trust, who to distrust, a checklist that you can hold on to for yourself to avoid scams and buying bad land in Costa Rica. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you can click that little icon on the screen. Also, my own property is for sale in Costa Rica. Why? Well, we are looking into other parts of Costa Rica to live. We live here for 7 years now, which is amazing. But we feel it's time to just have a change, and our family is becoming smaller. We're becoming empty nesters. So for us, our wishes and what we need has changed. So I came up with the idea to just, hola, buenas tardes. So there's just a guy passing me on my road, probably a worker or a farmer. So I have, basically my land is for sale. I was a little distracted. There's a link in the comments and the first link in the description below this video if you happen to be looking for land or you have no clue where to start. So I live on the countryside, first of all. And if you have subscribed and you hit the bell, you get a notification every time I upload new videos, all Costa Rica related, especially about all the things that I have learned myself. Let me sit this way. So what should you pay attention to if you're moving to Costa Rica and want to own your own land? So I said the first thing already, right? People are telling you that they know land for sale. They are all doing it for a commission. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's not always in your benefit. There is a lot of land for sale. You know, this land could be for sale. It's amazing. It has grass, it has a nice sunset, blah, blah, blah. But you should always know a couple of things. Is it connected to the public road? Yes or no? That is related to how much can you build. If you want to build one house for yourself and one house to rent out, but also you're going to get family over, you want to have a couple of rentals, it's not always allowed, depending on what kind of land you're buying. Secondly, be aware of that you are buying land with your own entrance. There are still pieces of land, we call it like locked in lands, but they are sold as normal lands, but they don't have their own entrance. That means that you cannot live there. If you have a nice neighbor who promises you, well, you can buy this land, you can always use my entrance, if it's not stated by law in a document, it's Russian roulette. And unfortunately, I do know people who bought land are not able to enter it. They're just scammed. Also, you should know that you want to have access to water. And it's easy to dig a well these days. Getting the permits for water, for digging a well for water is easy these days. I'm not going to go into details about that. But not everywhere is water. If you want to live in the mountains, it's not a guarantee that there's water on your land. And there are places where I've lived here in the area. Oh, if you're wondering which area are you living, I live in the perfect triangle between, I'm living in the center between Montezuma and Santa Teresa, meaning from my gate, from my house, it's an 8-minute drive. Now I always travel on my ADV. It's an 8-minute drive to the Santa Teresa beach, and it's a 10 to 12-minute drive to the Montezuma beach. That is also a tip for me. I would not buy property at the ocean side, especially not if you have a limited budget. And secondly, if you want to avoid a noise pollution. You know, The beach properties sound amazing, but it's not always fun. It's overcrowded. Often, especially in Santa Teresa, has a very bad infrastructure because there are so many people living there. A limited amount of place to just have peace of mind, and it's very noisy. That's why I would always recommend go live a little bit outside of town, accessing the beaches in an X amount of minutes. You know, think about that. And also the prices will be different. So this is basically, this land is literally connected to my land. Literally, I have a river as a boundary, which is a benefit. If you have a river as a boundary, you cannot build by law within 15 meters, so 15 meters near the river, right? That means you will always have space between, suppose that this land will be sold and someone will want to build their houses. There is always 30 meters, 15 on your side and 15 meters on their side, where the first house will be built next to your property. So I love to have a river as a boundary, a part of the boundaries of your land. And also you can walk through the river as it is your own, because no one owns the rivers, but you have private access to a river. And I love my river, which is the Montezuma River, because no one else is there, you know. And also, just if you're curious, there are some pictures on my listing. Again, it is for sale because I'm relocating in Costa Rica. Just be curious, click the link, get in touch with my realtor or with me, you know. It would be extra fun if someone who is following me for a while on my YouTube and wants to move to Costa Rica, now you can buy my property. Also, so river is a tip, have access to water. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, when I just moved here, we were living in a rental house and there was no water underground, but because it was easy accessible land, a truck brought in water to fill his tanks, and that's possible. But that is very hard if you live somewhere remotely in the mountains. So be sure there's access to water. If it's public water, like municipality water, that's basically coming through pipes to you, or well water, be sure that there is water. You know, water is quite rare. Also, what I would never do again, but that's personal, I would not buy an empty piece of land and just develop everything myself. So if you're, for example, a family with kids who moved to Costa Rica like I was, or maybe you're bringing grandparents and elderly people, I would buy something that's ready to live in, and maybe establish, of course, some new projects, but that you're not camping around or have to rent until you can live on your property. Right now, what I'm looking for myself is ready. Actually, we already found it. A ready to move in land. Why? Well, we have Dirk's mom. She's 85 and she's super fit. We don't want to take 1 to 2 years to develop first. We want to just make it better, establish it better, do some additional things, but just ready to move in property. Well, guess what? My land is ready to move property for those who are looking into moving to Costa Rica, want to buy land, but also maybe build something, but also want to just not have to pay rent as well. So yeah, go out, check out my link if you're curious. And also I just look at all these cars driving by. This is also important. If you have kids who go to any school, you want to have a road connecting you from your home to the school, because otherwise you're depending on school buses and stuff, and I would not want to have my kids in school buses anymore. We did that, it was exhausting, and my road has an access to a couple of amazing schools within like 15 minutes of drive. So, and also a tip, when you want to move to my area, look at this is all we call these back roads. We have a concrete road and the roads are being built as we speak. Cobano is a district, or has become a district. I'm close to Cobano, and that means that they have more money to use to, pave this road. Yeah, decide really well where you're going to buy land in Costa Rica. If the land is good, be aware that building on your own land, the prices here can really go like this. So now maybe you need construction material, and it's priced like this, and next week it can be double. Don't ask me why, but it has to do with what's the word? The prices change all the time. It has to do with taxes and import taxes and so forth, and then also delivery to your house. The prices change all the time. Like I said, I would prefer to buy something that's ready to move in, and then you can always uplift it or build some extra. But that's me. Do whatever. There are so many lands for sale in Costa Rica. Be aware, those people are offering you to show you land are not your friends. They want to make money on you. They will make money on you, and they're not always operating in your benefit. I'm not saying everyone is bad who does that. I bought land that way, but it was a friend, and I'm not sure if your contacts are real friends. So be aware, be cautious, have a good realtor. A very good realtor, or do it without a realtor, and do it at least with an attorney. I love to connect you with my attorney if you don't know where to start, if you're new, if you want to move and you're like, I know nothing. Hit me up, comment below if you have any other questions. So for my listing, a family friendly, development friendly property, close by the beaches of Santa Teresa, Montezuma. That's my property, ready to live in, move in, and development proof. You can build up to 75 to 80% of my property, and I have 5.5 acres. Yeah, it's a big decision, so know exactly what you're buying and don't leave anything up to luck. Okay, there's a lot of scam out there. Well, with that being said, I'm always happy to answer your questions. Simply comment down below. I'm hoping to inspire you. Thanks for watching my video. I'm gonna drive home now. I will be home like I said, 2 minutes. This is my connecting land. It's cow land. I know this land is rented out for the next, I think 15 years or something, but don't pin me on it, at least 10 years. You're gonna get cows as your neighbor. Yeah, it's lovely here. And people are all greeting each other here. It's small town living. I like it. I have farmers as my neighbors, and who knows, we're gonna meet one day in Costa Rica. Now I'm gonna say goodbye again and really stop videoing. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.